Here is something the watch industry does not want you to figure out. The collectors who know the most about watches spend the least money on their daily wearers. Not because they cannot afford more. Because they did the research. They know which $99 watch the Audemars Piguet crowd quietly wears to the grocery store. They know which $380 watch uses the same dial technique that Swiss houses charge $5,000 to replicate. They know which $480 watch has a movement complication that you typically cannot find below $2,000 anywhere in the world. This is that list. 10 watches. All under $500, every single one of them a secret that serious collectors have been keeping from the people who spend 10 times as much on their wrists. Some of these watches you will recognize. The ones you do not recognize are the most interesting ones on the list. And the one at number 2 does something that collectors who own 5-figure Swiss pieces openly admit no equivalent Swiss watch at any price does better. Number 10. Vostok Amphibia. Approximately $60. The Vostok Amphibia is the strangest watch on this list and the one most likely to make a Swiss brand engineer physically uncomfortable. Made in Chistopol, Russia, at a factory founded during World War II to produce watches for the Soviet military, the Amphibia has a mechanical trick that no Swiss dive watch manufacturer has ever replicated at any price. The case itself compresses under water pressure, tightening the seals the deeper you go. At depth, the watch becomes more waterproof than it is at the surface. This is either brilliant or terrifying depending on how you think about engineering, and the answer is both. The movement inside, caliber 2409 or 2415 depending on the variant, is a Soviet-designed automatic that runs roughly to plus or minus 15 seconds per day. Not precision engineering, but reliable in the way that agricultural machinery is reliable. The case design is peculiar, the quality control is famously inconsistent, and the watch looks like it was designed by someone who had heard of dive watches but never seen one. None of this matters. The Amphibia is rated to 200 meters, uses a screw-down caseback with a unique compression architecture, and has been worn by actual Soviet and Russian military divers for decades. It costs $60. Swiss dive watch manufacturers charge 10 to 20 times that amount for the same depth rating with a conventional case design that does not improve under pressure. The Amphibia gets better when things get worse. That is a design philosophy worth $60. The collector community around vintage Vostoks is small, passionate, and deeply serious. They discuss case variants, dial generations, and caliber iterations with the same granularity that Rolex collectors bring to reference numbers. The watches cost between $40 and $200. The knowledge required to navigate the catalog rivals anything in the watch world. This is collecting in its purest form. The pursuit of the object for what it is, with none of the financial anxiety that accompanies more expensive categories. Number 9. Orient Bambino. Approximately $150. There are expensive watches whose dials look worse than the Orient Bambinos. That is not a compliment to Orient. That is a factual observation about the fragility of the relationship between price and quality in the watch industry. The Bambino uses Orient's in-house automatic caliber, a movement designed, manufactured, and assembled within the Orient Group without external suppliers, in a dress watch case with a domed crystal, clean indices, and a dial surface whose depth and warmth are genuinely surprising the first time you see one in person. In-house movement manufacturing at this price point is remarkable. Most Swiss watch brands at 2 to 3 times the Bambino's price-use movement sourced from ETA, Sellita, or Soprod, legitimate and reliable movements, but movements that the manufacturer did not design. Orient designed and builds their own. The Bambino retails around $150 and wears in professional contexts without anyone understanding what they are looking at. The person across the table sees a clean, well-proportioned dress watch on a leather strap. They do not see the in-house movement behind the dial. You do. That gap in understanding is exactly what smart collecting looks like. The Bambino retails at approximately $150. Dress watches at this price from Swiss brands use movements that Orient did not design. Orient designed theirs. The watch community has a phrase for this: punch above its weight. The Bambino does not punch above its weight. It is simply that the weight class system is broken, and the Bambino is the evidence. Number 8. Casio G-Shock. G. A 2100 Casio, approximately $99. In 2019, Casio released a G-Shock with an octagonal bezel that bore an obvious resemblance to the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, the $22,000 integrated bracelet sports watch that defined luxury horology in the 1970s. Whether this resemblance was intentional is a question Casio has never answered directly. The watch community answered it immediately. They named it the Casio. It went viral on every platform simultaneously, and Casio sold an extraordinary number of them. The Royal Oak was designed in 1972 by Gerald Genta, arguably the most influential watch designer of the 20th century. The Casio was designed in 2019 by a team at Casio who clearly appreciated Genta's work. The result looks, at a glance from across a room, like the most expensive watch Audemars Piguet makes. The GA2100 is a G-Shock, which means it has the full Kikuo EB shock-resistant architecture, the hollow structure that distributes impact energy around the movement rather than through it. The case is bio-based resin and stainless steel, thinner than any previous G-Shock at 9.8 mm, with the analog digital display that the collector community finds endlessly customizable. The watch is water-resistant to 200 meters and has full G-Shock durability certification. It costs $99. The Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Offshore, it vaguely resembles, cost $26,000. Multiple people who own Royal Oaks wear Casios as their daily beaters. They will not tell you this in polite company, but the secondary market for custom Casio mods and aftermarket parts tells you everything you need to know about who is actually buying these watches. The modification community for the GA2100 is enormous. Aftermarket metal bezels, custom dials, replacement bracelets that bring the watch visually closer to the AP Royal Oak it references. People spend more on modifying a Casio than the watch itself costs. This is not value destruction. It is the clearest possible signal that the base platform is worth investing in. Number 7. Citizen Promaster EcoDrive. BN0150, approximately $250. The Citizen BN0150 makes a specific argument that most of the watch industry finds uncomfortable. Quartz is not inferior to mechanical. It is categorically superior on accuracy, requires no winding, never needs a mainspring replacement, and in the EcoDrive configuration, never needs a battery either. The BN0150 is solar-powered, charges from any light source including indoor fluorescent, stores enough charge to run for approximately 6 months in complete darkness, and is accurate to within 15 seconds per month. A COSC-certified Swiss mechanical movement is certified to within -4 to +6 seconds per day. The Citizen is more accurate. The Swiss certifying body would prefer you not notice this. The BN0150 is ISO 6425 certified, the international standard for professional dive watches, the same standard that governs Rolex, Omega, and Blancpain dive watches, at 200 meters of water resistance. The case is super titanium, Citizen's proprietary alloy that is 5 times harder than stainless steel and 40% lighter. The result is a watch that feels almost weightless on the wrist, while providing structural durability that outlasts most stainless steel cases. It costs $250. The Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean, which is also ISO 6425 certified and titanium, starts at $6,400. The Citizen does not outperform it on every criterion, but on accuracy, battery life, weight, and the specific question of whether it will still be working correctly in 10 years without a service visit, the $250 watch is the correct answer. The watch industry has worked hard to make you believe that solar quartz is a lesser technology than mechanical. It is not. It is a different technology that prioritizes different values. Citizen built a watch that charges itself, never needs service, weighs almost nothing, meets professional dive standards, and costs $250. Dismissing this requires the kind of motivated reasoning that only an expensive purchase history can provide. Number 6. Seiko Presage Cocktail. Time SRPB 41, approximately $380. The dial on the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time series is produced using a multi-layer lacquer technique that applies successive coats of lacquer, dries each layer completely, and polishes the accumulated surface to a depth that creates the impression of looking into the dial rather than at it. The specific effect, a gradient that appears to shift color and depth depending on the angle and the light, is a technique that Swiss houses producing Grand Feu enamel or Urushi lacquer dials use to justify prices starting at $3,000 and extending well beyond $10,000. Seiko applies a version of this craft at $380. The effect is not identical to the most expensive versions, but in a side-by-side comparison with most watches in the $1,000 to $3,000 range, the Cocktail Times dial is better than what it is competing against. More depth, more movement, more craft per dollar than essentially any watch in its price bracket. The inspiration for the series is the bar culture of Tokyo's Ginza district. Cocktails, hostess bars, the particular glamour of post-war Japanese nightlife that existed in specific tension with the austerity of the era. Each reference takes its color and its mood from a specific cocktail. The movement is the 4R35, Seiko's in-house caliber, running to plus or minus 30 seconds per day. Not COSC level precision, but in-house manufacture at this price. The watch is the most beautiful thing available under $500 in Japanese mechanical watchmaking, and the dial technique it uses is one that the watch industry has been charging 10 times its price to access for decades. The specific color references, Blue Moon, Aging Beryl, White Birch, are named after cocktails that existed in the specific bars of Tokyo's Ginza district during a specific post-war decade. You are wearing a document of a time and place that no longer quite exists. At $380, this is the best value in design storytelling currently available in the watch market. Number 5. Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical, approximately $495. Hamilton has been making watches for American military personnel since World War I. This is not a marketing claim. It is a documented procurement history that includes field watches issued to U.S. Army soldiers in both World Wars, Korea, and Vietnam. The Khaki Field Mechanical is the direct descendant of those watches, and the specific detail that separates it from every other military heritage watch available under $500 is in the name. Mechanical, not automatic. Mechanical, meaning hand wound only, no rotor, no automatic winding weight spinning inside the case, just a mainspring that you wind with the crown every morning and that runs for approximately 80 hours before stopping. Hand wound movements are considered by serious collectors to be the purest expression of mechanical watchmaking. They require the wearer's active participation. They are thinner than automatic movements because there is no rotor mechanism. They typically achieve better positional accuracy because there is less mechanical complexity affecting the regulation. The Hamilton H50 movement inside the Khaki Field Mechanical provides that 80-hour power reserve, enough to survive a long weekend without winding, in a Swiss-made movement with no external sourcing required. The case is 42 millimeters, the dial is clean matte, and the watch costs $495. A comparable hand wound movement in a Swiss dress watch from Jaeger-LeCoultre or A. Lange and Sona would cost between $5,000 and $15,000. The movement type is the same. The Hamilton's only crime is being affordable. There is a specific collector profile that gravitates toward hand wound watches exclusively. People who understand that the act of winding a watch in the morning is not a burden, but a ritual, a daily moment of engagement with the mechanism that reminds you what the object actually is. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical provides this ritual in a Swiss-made case with military lineage for less than $500. The ritual is identical at $5,000. The watch that provides it is not. Number 4. Seiko Alpinist SPB 117, approximately $450. The Seiko Alpinist is the watch that serious collectors in Japan buy for themselves when they want something to wear every day. This is the most useful market research available. Japanese collectors have access to everything. Every Seiko, every Grand Seiko, every import, at lower prices than any other market in the world due to domestic pricing structures. They choose the Alpinist because it combines things no other watch at its price offers simultaneously: a rotating inner compass bezel, a traditional cathedral handset, a dial design that traces to Seiko's first sports watch from 1959. Sapphire crystal front and back, the 6R35 caliber with 70 hours of power reserve and 200 meters of water resistance. The inner rotating bezel is the design detail that sets the Alpinist apart from every other watch in its category. While dive watches use an external bezel to track elapsed time, the Alpinist uses an internal bezel for compass orientation, a different functional brief that produces a completely different aesthetic. The hands overlay on the compass markings in a way that requires careful reading and rewards attention. The watch does not look like anything else at any price. At $450 from Seiko US authorized dealers, the SPB117 trades on the secondary market at premiums that confirm what collectors understand. This is a reference that will be looked back on the way the SARB017, the green dial predecessor, is looked back on now. The SARB017 sold for $350 and now trades for $700 to $900 because collectors understood what it was before the general market did. The SPB117 is in the same position. Buy it while it is still at retail. The collector community has already had this conversation. The watch forums reached consensus on the SPB117 approximately 18 months after its release. The mainstream watch press is just catching up. By the time everyone agrees it is worth more than $450, it will cost more than $450. The collectors who know this are not buying it to sell it. They are buying it because it is the watch they actually want to wear. The appreciation, if it comes, will be incidental to the ownership. Number 3. Seiko Prospex Turtle SRPE93, approximately $495. The Seiko Turtle has been in continuous production, in one form or another, since the original 6309-704 debuted in the late 1970s. The current SRPE93 is its direct descendant. The same cushion-shaped case profile, the same dial proportions, the same design philosophy of a professional dive tool that happens to look exactly right on a casual wrist. The watch is ISO 6425 certified. This is the international standard for professional dive watches, not water-resistant to 200 meters as a marketing claim, but independently verified compliance with a set of specifications including legibility, magnetic resistance, shock resistance, and pressure testing that governs professional underwater equipment. The Rolex Submariner is ISO 6425 certified. The Omega Seamaster Professional is ISO 6425 certified. So is the Seiko Turtle, for $495. The movement is the 4R36, Seiko's in-house caliber with hacking and hand-winding, in a 23-joule automatic running at 21,600 vibrations per hour with a 41-hour power reserve. The Lume application, LumiBright, is among the strongest available at any price, charging quickly and holding a glow for hours in complete darkness. The bracelet integration suits the cushion case geometry correctly. Swiss dive watches at this ISO 642.5 standards start at approximately $800 for basic Swiss movement pieces and reach $10,400 for the entry Rolex Submariner. The SRPE 93 meets the same professional certification for $495. It does not have the Rolex crown. It does not have the resale value. It has everything else, including the same professional certification that governs what actually matters about a dive watch, whether it keeps working when you are underwater, and your life depends on knowing how long you have been there. The answer for the Turtle is yes. The answer has been yes since the 1970s. The current reference SRPE 93 retails at $495. The Seiko Turtle is older than most of the people buying Rolex Submariners, has been worn by real divers in real water for half a century, and cost $495. The watch community has been keeping this a secret from the people who spend 10 times as much for approximately the same professional result. The secret, in this case, has been hiding in plain sight on the Seiko website the entire time. The collectors who know look at the SRPE 93 retail page and see something different from what everyone else sees. Proof that the watch industry is more about perception than performance, and proof that you can opt out of that equation at any moment for under $500. Number 2. Orient Star. Classic RE-AZ0002L, approximately $480. This is the watch that humiliates $10,000 watches. Not because it is more beautiful or more durable or more accurate than a $10,000 Swiss watch. It is not, and claiming otherwise would be dishonest. It humiliates them on a specific technical criterion that the Swiss watch industry uses to justify 4- and 5-figure price tags: movement complication. The Orient Star Classic has a power reserve indicator on the dial. This is a display that shows how much mainspring energy remains, whether you have hours of running time or minutes. It is a complication in the watchmaking sense, an additional function beyond hours, minutes, and seconds that requires additional engineering to achieve. Most Swiss watches add power reserve indicators starting at $1,500 and routinely well above $2,000. The Orient Star Classic does it for $480. The in-house caliber F6N4 is a genuine Orient manufacture movement, designed and built within the group, not sourced from a supplier. The movement is visible through a sapphire display caseback. The dial finishing is genuinely exceptional. Applied markers that catch light cleanly, a texture and depth that reads as more expensive than it is, proportions that the brand has refined across multiple generations of the Star line. The case is 38.5 millimeters, which is the correct size for a dress automatic. The watch is made in Japan. It has a power reserve indicator, an in-house manufacture movement, sapphire crystal, and a finishing level that competes with Swiss watches at 3 to 4 times its price. The person across the table sees a beautiful dress watch. The collector sees a power reserve indicator and an in-house caliber at $480 and quietly notes the opportunity. For comparison, the IWC Portofino hand wound with a power reserve indicator starts at approximately $4,300. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Control with a power reserve indicator starts at approximately $6,500. Both are exceptional watches from exceptional houses. The Orient Star Classic is not in their category on brand prestige, resale value, or heritage. On the technical criterion of power reserve indicator plus in-house manufacture plus finishing quality per dollar spent, the Orient Star is in a conversation that the Swiss industry would prefer to avoid. Number 1. Casio F91W, $22. Every list like this one has to start here, and every serious collector knows exactly why. Not because the F91W is the most impressive watch on this list. It is not, and nothing about its $22 price tag suggests it should be, but because it is the clearest possible statement of what a watch actually is. A device that tells the time, accurately, reliably, indefinitely, without requiring your attention or your wallet. Casio released it in 1989 and has not meaningfully redesigned it since because the original brief was executed so completely that revision would only introduce opportunities for failure. 3 years after its release, the design was correct. 37 years after its release, the design is still correct. The resin case weighs almost nothing. The quartz movement runs to within 15 seconds per month. The battery lasts 7 years. The watch is water-resistant to 30 meters. It weighs so little that you occasionally forget it is on your wrist, which is either a flaw or the greatest feature in watchmaking depending on your perspective. Barack Obama wore one. The FBI has documented its appearance in terrorism investigations on multiple continents, not because it is sinister, but because it is so universally available and reliable that people who need a dependable tool in extreme circumstances reach for it automatically. Navy SEALs have worn them in training. The watch costs $22 and it keeps better time than any mechanical Swiss movement ever made. Every serious collector owns one, usually hidden in a drawer somewhere, pulled out on the days when wearing something valuable would be genuinely inconvenient. The F91W is the watch that proves every other watch on this list is worth considering. There is a specific type of collector, typically someone who has owned a Rolex, then a Patek, then several 5-figure pieces, who eventually arrives at the F91W with the particular reverence of someone who has been through the expensive lessons and emerged on the other side. They wear it not ironically but genuinely. It does exactly what it promises to do, at a price that makes the promise impossible to resent. 10 watches, $22 to $400, and $95. Every one of them carrying something that the watch industry prefers to sell at a multiple of what you just read. The F91W proves that accuracy is not about price. The Vostok proves that engineering originality is not a Swiss monopoly. The Bambino proves that in-house manufacturing does not require a Swiss address. The Citizen proves that precision and solar power together are a category the mechanical watch industry cannot honestly compete with. The Casio proves that design iconography can be approached at any price point with sufficient creativity. The Hamilton proves that the movements serious collectors prefer are available under $500 if you know where to look. The Cocktail Time proves that dialcraft is not locked behind five-figure price tags. The Alpinist proves that the watches Japanese collectors buy for themselves are the ones worth knowing about. The Orient Star proves that complications are available below the price point the industry prefers to set for them. And the Turtle proves that professional certification, the only kind of validation that actually means something objective, is available at $495. The secret is out. Or rather, it was never really a secret. The collectors who knew were simply not the ones doing the most talking. The watches on this list have been available for decades in most cases. The Turtle lineage traces to 1976, the F91W to 1989, the Hamilton Khaki Field to the 1940s. The information existed. The budget required to act on it was always under $500. The only thing that was missing was someone willing to say directly that the $10,000 version is mostly buying a different conversation about the watch, not a fundamentally different watch.